later. Money is an illusion. Money is an illusion. There's so much money on this planet. There's more money on this planet than there are people. There's more money on this planet than there are planes. There's more money on this planet than phones. There's more money on this planet than cattle. There's no shortage. But there is a shortage of people committed to it. And there's a shortage of creativity and strategy. You know?
I just realized how lazy I was, Grant.
And
I was talking to, I forgot.
I don't think you're lazy. I think you're confused.
Okay, tell me.
I think that when people don't take action, they have too many, that you got too many data points coming in. Like, I don't think anybody's born lazy. When your baby's born here in the next, in February, March.
Mid-March.
March 12th.
Mid-March.
15th. Yeah. March 21st is my birthday.
Oh, really? She's supposed to be due on the 23rd, but my wife thinks it's going to be mid-March.
If she's born on the 21st, I'll put $10,000 in her scholarship.
I'm like, yo, hold the baby.
Okay. Hold on for that $10K. So people are not born lazy. Lazy is a learned characteristic. It's we're actually made lazy. And because no baby's born lazy. If they're lazy, they're sick.
Lazy is learned. I thought
it's learned, dude.
Innate. Like some people
Nah, bro, ain't nobody lazy.
Feels good.
Wait till that baby's crying all the like baby's crazy. Okay, it's either eating or sleeping or freaking jacking around. So what happens is though, if he tells me to go left and you tell me to go right, and you're in the back seat of the car, I'm not going to do anything. Mm-hmm. I become immobilized by too much data. Doesn't mean I'm lazy. It doesn't mean I know how to drive. It means I'm confused. And when a person's confused, they don't ever do anything. And so when you feel like you're lazy, it's because you have Dave Ramsey telling you to save your money and don't use debt. You got me saying, oh, don't load up on that debt, dog. You need to get a bunch of debt. And you got Tony Robbins over there telling you it's all about your emotional state. Pump it out. And you're like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Right. And then you got Gary Vaynerchuk saying money doesn't matter. And you're like, shit. Dave, do I listen to Dave? Do I listen to Grant? Do I listen to Gary? And at that moment, even if you got to figure out which strategy, you're immobilized. And at that moment, you will look lazy to yourself and others. So what I do is I pick one guy and I go with him. Like, I don't even care if it's the right guy. Because I can make the wrong information. If I'm stable about the wrong information, I can make that work.
Have you ever acted your way into a hole? I mean, because you just make decisions. You ever made one too quick and it's like, oh, that was the wrong one?
More often than not, dude. Those my instincts are right. And if they're not, at least I have the skill set to reverse quickly.
Gotcha.
Because if you take a long time to make a decision, you're going to take a long time to unwind one.
Say that again.
If you take a long time to make a bad decision, you're going to take a long time to unwind it.
Yeah.
Right? If I make a bad decision quickly, I bought a truck. I'm making this up. Boom, I'm going to buy that truck. I've made a decision quickly to buy it. I can also make a decision quickly to get rid of it. I bought a Cullinan, Rolls-Royce Cullinan. It's $446,000. I bought it before my growth conference. I bought it in the afternoon. Like, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to put it on stage. I got it. I'm like, this is stupid. $500,000 for a fucking truck is stupid. I sold it the next day. So I bought it, sold it, boom. I wrote it off though.
Right.
I wrote it off because it was at my conference. So I'm just saying, like, if you get used to taking a lot of time to make decisions, if how you buy things is how you're going to sell things. And how you make decisions is how your organization is going to make decisions.
Wow. When did you make the decision to do like this 10X? Where does this 10X thing come from?
10X came from 2008 when the economy got crushed. I was in a completely different financial situation. And
where were you?
I was in Los Angeles. I lived in Lionel Richie's house. And dude, I had it made. Like, I was living the life. Dre was my neighbor. Leo DiCaprio was next door. I'm dropping names now. I'm bragging. And throw it here, Johnny. And so when 2008 happened, I had 3 companies. The first 2 got crushed, and the third one was just frozen. It was a real estate company, and I couldn't do anything. And my hands were tied. I went from being free to trapped. And I said, I got to figure out what I did wrong. And rather than spending time blaming the mortgage, the mortgage crisis and the banks gave bad loans to people and trying to figure out, was it the Clintons or the Bushes that did this to me or whatever the political agenda was. I said, hey, what did I do wrong? This has always got me out of trouble. What did I do wrong? Not what did you do to me? What did I do? How did I do this to me? So I don't repeat it again. And I sat down and started writing. And I'm like, if I was 10x bigger, and if I was 10 times bigger right now, I would have $500 million worth of debt. $551 million. But I only have $51 million worth of debt. That's what I had in 2008. If I had, because the bank called me and said, we need the whole 51 million, or we're going to seize your property. Right. I'm like, dude, nobody's got 50 million right now. The world's coming to an end. Had I owed $500 million, they wouldn't have treated me like that. They'd have called me and said, how can we help you, Mr. Cardone? Want to be sure everything's all right. So I went and told my wife, I said, I'm going to write a book called The 10X Rule. And she's like, what's the 10X Rule? The 10X Rule basically is I'm going to have $500 million worth of debt the next time, and the bank will be my friend. When COVID happened, I owed $1.4 billion to the banks. That was 12 years ago. That's 30 times what I owed, 30X. The day COVID happened, the economy shut down, the world started going crazy, dude. The government started saying mortgage moratorium, eviction moratoriums. Like, I had 6 banks call me in one day, Mr. Cardone, we'd like to come to your office, see how we can help you work through this. Get big, baby. Okay? It's the 10X rule, man. The 10X rule says go big or
go home.
No, go bigger.
Go bigger.
Never go home, man. There ain't nothing at home.
Go bigger, go
there ain't
bigger.
Nothing at home.
Man, yeah. Oh my gosh. You are a beast.
Yeah, thank you.
How old are you?
62. I'll be 63 when your daughter gets born, and $10,000 later.
Man, that is amazing, man.
Yeah.
And I was just like talking to your staff before I got here, and they all truly love you.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
know what I mean? Like, even in the time where, you know, you had to make the cuts, you know, Jonathan was telling me like, yo, Grant lost money too. Like, he had to take a cut as well.
Yeah.
And that was a conversation me and Bees were having before we got here. And I was like, yo, what would I do in that scenario? I said, man, I need to man up.
Yeah.
I need to man up, and I need to like really go at it. Before I asked you a clubhouse, I should just pulled up here and said, hey, Grant needs, I need this interview with Grant. Like, this interview really changed how I'm gonna approach life.
Good, man.
I
hope so. Everybody needs to step it up. Everybody can do more, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't know what you can do until you see other people doing big stuff. And that's why today, like, we started this talking about, in the past, I'd look up to people, want to pull them down. Now I'm like, wow, dude, that's an inspiration.
Yeah.
And I look for people like all the way back to Jesus as an inspiration to me. Like, he left his town. You know, I've used that Jesus analogy, him leaving Bethlehem. Did he leave Bethlehem or Nazareth? Nazareth and went to Bethlehem, something, right? So I'm like, you know what? Nobody would know him if he didn't leave home. I've moved from Lake Charles to Houston, Houston to San Diego to LA, LA to Miami. I might move again. Every move's been good for me. So you got to leave your home. You got to leave your comfort. You know, you got to walk the path, and you got to get a team. Yeah. You can't do anything great by yourself. And I truly believe all of us, no matter where you are today, everybody can do 10 times more than you think you can. And before you get to 10X, you'll end up changing the goal to 10 times more.
Do you guys feel the pressure, the heat? Do you feel the 10X? Like, you can't just sit here and just not work.
Well, they quit if they would never just do that. They would quit first. They leave. You know, we've had a lot of people come and go here.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I know you got to go, man, and because you have like this internal timer.
You got to let him have that pillow when he leaves.
Yo, I love this pillow. It makes me feel so comfortable.
No, you're taking it with you, man. You're taking it with you.
Oh my gosh, I feel so good.
Yeah, it looks good on you too, man.
You have like this internal timer. I can see it's like it's clicking. You always know you have something to do, right?
I'm with you right now, though.
chill?
Like I'm not really thinking about, like, I know I have another thing to go to, but I'm like, it's gonna be fine. Like, once I drop into something, I'm like there. And that nothing else is happening for me. Everything else will get handled, or it won't.
Yeah.
So if somebody on that other end is upset because I didn't show up, you know, no one thing blows any opportunity. There's no one thing I can do that will mess up an opportunity that's meant to be for me.
Wow. Wow.
And I could always go fix it. Say, hey, sorry, something went long, and if that blows that wasn't going to happen with me.
Yeah. You kind of alluded to like your belief system, your spirituality. What is that belief, real quickly? I mean, like, just can you put it into words?
Yeah, I believe that I'm a spiritual being, and I'm in a body, but I'm not a body. I'm not a brain. I'm not a piece of meat. I'm not bones. I'm not 5'8". I'm not 170 pounds. I'm beyond time and energy and measurable units. So I'm not really Grant. That's my name that was given to me. These things that I've done, the cars that I drive, that's just stuff like the Undercover Billionaire was an extremely spiritually liberating adventure for me.
Really? How so?
Because I lost everything. I didn't have my money, didn't have the Rolls, didn't have the G63, didn't have the Gulfstream, didn't have my name, didn't have my social media, didn't have my hair, didn't have my goodies, I didn't have 150 people on my team. It was me. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, I don't need anything. Yeah. I'm in a new environment where nobody knows me. And like, it was so empowering because I'm like, I am capable of taking care of myself without money, without credit cards, with just communication,
I think even in success, some people luck up, right? I mean, the right place,
they don't know.
right
They don't
time.
know. I 100% agree with what you're saying. They wonder, can I do it again?
Yeah.
There's that doubt. Could I do it again? And when Discovery went to help me out a little bit, like, because they're producing a show, like, let's keep it real. I'm like, I don't want your help. And they're like, no, we got a meeting for you with so-and-so. I don't want it.
Because for you, this ain't about a show.
Throw it in the trash. I don't want it. And they're like, well, no, it's going to be good TV. I cannot take your help. And they're like, why? We're trying to help you. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Once I take your help, I can't help me. Once you help me, then I become reliant on your help. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and say, can you help me? 3 days from now I'm gonna be like, hey, why aren't you helping me? Like I become disabled. And I said, for 90 days, I need you to stay out of my way. Not one of you, the 20 of you combined, has ever built a $10 million business. The way I see this is I'm the only one that's ever done this. So I don't want your help. Stay out of this. Yeah. Get your little camera and do your thing.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And real quick, what's your personal development routine, man? I mean, do you have mentors? Do you read a lot? Your environment? What would you attribute to this?
Look, 95, I've said this before, I'm a Scientologist. I've been studying Scientology for 16 years.
What is it?
Scientology is,
I never really got into it.
Scientology it's a religion that's not about a dogma, but it's about you getting clear of your disabilities. It's basically a stripping away of disabilities, believing that if you take away all my disabilities, all my negativity, all my self-sabotaging behaviors, what am I left with? I'm left with all the good. I'm left with good decision making, no chaos, no conflict, no sabotaging behavior. I just start making good decisions over and over. And it doesn't mean I'm not human. I'm still having a human experience, but I'm not enamored with being tricked by bad people. So it's a very fundamental. It's not religious like Baptist, Catholic, Jewish, or Muslim, as to believe to a specific God. Any of those four religions could be Scientology as well. It's knowing how to pick the right people, how to be in a marriage, how to control matter. Money is matter. A plane is matter. A building is matter. How do you organize things? How do you manage and create time? Not just be a slave of time. So I create a lot of time in my day. It would look like I actually produce time. And so it's really how to get on the cause end of the game rather than the effect end of the game.
Oh, I like that.
It's very powerful. Man. And 95%, I've said it before many times, and I know the tabloids and the media and CNN destroy it, but I've been hanging out with that religion for 16 years. It's been unbelievable for me, my marriage, my kids. I mean, look at my kids. My kids are freaking stars, dude. And
how old are your children?
They're 11 and 9.
Which one's going to be the little Grant? Which one do you see yourself in? Like the
I don't know, man. They're both little crazies. Like Sabrina is probably more like me than Scarlett. Scarlett's much more sensitive. Mm-hmm. And they're both sensitive, but they start putting on personas. But they've both spoken to 34,000 people, wrote their own speeches and standing ovations. Like they're amazing little individuals. Not because of us either. Because my wife's done a great job with them, but they do their own work. They're homeschooled. They're not in the educational system, which I think is an advantage.
Right. For sure.
So. But I think Sabrina's got some interest in running everything. Who knows?
That's what's up.
Hopefully they don't turn 15 and go bad like I did.
Right. Well, man, Grant, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Not the cameras or the audience. Me personally, I've grown so much from this interview, man, and I know other people have too, man. So I got to end off with my favorite question. I like to make predictions on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And I want to know where you see yourself or what you see yourself doing in the next 5 to 10 years so that I can look back at this and say, yo, he said it. I got it on camera. He said he's going to do this 5 years ago.
Man, shit, what am I going to do? So let me see. Let me make a prediction. I'll get to $20 billion worth of real estate.
Where are you at now?
2.3.
10x.
So I'll probably go public in some form. It could be a SPAC or it could be a Wall Street thing. I won't have any more kids, but I'll help a lot of kids.
What's the vision on that? What do you mean?
I started a foundation called Grant Cardone Foundation that helps kids that don't have dads. I would love, like one of the most exciting things to me is solve this diversity issue between whites and blacks and this big gap we have, the wealth gap. I'd love to solve that issue. Like I'd like to be the guy that I want to use entertainment and education and just like kind of erase the line between the two. Really entertainment and business, and also white and black. Like I want to, on Clubhouse, like I go into rooms that are predominantly black.
For sure.
And because I love people. And I between me and you, I get bored with white people. They're boring, man. Same old bullshit, man. Like same issues. Like I want to hear some new stories. I like the raw. I like the street. I like the lyrics. I like the language. I like, the amount of creativity in the black community is just compared to white people. It is like off the charts. I mean, it is like I don't just say that. Like it is just the languaging and all the music I listen to is black music and so what am I going to do? I don't know, man. I hope I do something big though. I don't want to disappoint myself.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
because I know that you are when you go public. I just need to. How do I get on the list? I just need to
be in there, man. Be in there. Get invested in Cardone Capital.
Absolutely.
Like we sent. One of the things I'm most proud of is last year we sent $30 million out to our investors. Every month I write a check for $2.5 million, and we send it out to families throughout the world that invest with me at Cardone Capital. So we make a lot of money here where people pay us, but the money I'm most proud of is the money I send out.
I love it. I love to help with your nonprofit. I have a nonprofit called the Entrepreneurship Foundation. I just love to teach kids entrepreneurship.
Dude, we ought to put them together, man. Let me see how my foundation can help your foundation.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's figure that out.
Okay,
absolutely.
Let's do it.
Man, thank you so much.
Hey, come on, man. Appreciate you. Okay, appreciate you doing this. I'm so glad I said yes to you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Leave us with a word of wisdom, man. There's somebody in there in a bad situation.
Yeah.
And they're motivated now. What would you tell them?
Look, if you don't have money and you don't have credit and you're down and out and it's tough, just remember this. As long as you got courage, creativity, and commitment, you can be broke, but you'll never be broken.
I love it. We can't close it out no better than that, man. Do me a favor. Go get you some social proof, meaning go build something and just do me a favor. Identify how you did it, then go back to your community and teach others how you did it. So we're out of here. Go follow Grant. Peace.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him.